Welcome back to Channels Business Global with me, Juliana Olayinka, from our studios here in London. At the start of the week, property shares dropped by as much as 12% as discussion around social distancing were being put forward by the British government in the wake of the coronavirus spread. The global economy is already seeing losses in travel, retail and the entertainment sector. How can the housing market keep the wheels well oiled in the time of such a crisis? Channels Business Global spoke to one London estate agent that intends to do just that. And Daniel Ford Estates are already ahead of the environment curve, at least by launching as one of the only companies in the country to ban paper in their office. London, home to over 9 million people and over 3 million homes. The property market here is constant, extraordinary, outrageous. Sometimes you can find a bargain, and at other times, the properties are highly priced. Nathan Keeler, thank you so much for joining me on Channels Business Global. This is a beautiful office and it's paperless. What's the whole point of that?
So Paperless Office is here to help the environment. The swing in the last 15, 20 years is all about how can we help the environment, how can we help climate change. And the first step, obviously, getting rid of paper. In a time where we don't need to be in an office, where people can work remotely, why do we need paper in the office? So we got rid of paper.
It's been an interesting week across the globe. We've seen interest rates being cut by 0.5%. Of course, this is affecting the property market. Shares this week alone are down 12%. What's your business continuity plan, just in case we see a shutdown like we've seen in Italy?
So it's a short-term blip. This is not long-term. A virus like COVID-19, it's not going to last forever. So there has to be a plan in place. If we had to close for 2 weeks, our business wouldn't really suffer that much. Why? Because people can work remotely. We can still take inquiries, and there's still always a huge demand in London for people to live. It's not going to stop people coming out to view places. Like today, just went to value a property. She's come out. She's happy to go and view places today as well. So it's not going to stop the property market. It may slow it down for a short term, but ultimately it will come back to where it was.
You're already paperless. We are living in a digital era. What do you think of virtual viewings? Is that the kind of thing your clients would be interested in?
Virtual viewings have been going a while. I mean, I started using virtual viewings 5 years ago. With Matterport, came from the US, the software that came over. We started creating virtual tours at the time. And they are probably 3D immersed. You can immerse yourself into the property, have a wander around. There's nothing new. However, I think it's a great place to go. I think for the short-term rentals, it works. I think when someone's going to buy a property, it's about how it feels. I think for long-term investments, so if people want to buy multiple use or multi-use, if people want to buy large amount of units, you could use a 3D tour or a virtual tour to buy them. However, I think if someone's actually going to buy a home, they're never going to buy it just based on a virtual tour.
I've given you a lot of numbers, Nathan. Does that affect you? Do you kind of wake up in the morning looking at what the housing property headlines are, or do estate agents just get on and get the job done?
I think you just need to get on with the work. I think you just need to get the job done. There's always demand. And I think if you put the fear into people, if you wake up in the morning with that fear factor, you're never going to get anything done. You have to wake up in the morning and be like, right, what can we do to change today? How can we improve? How can we get better? And I think there's always an angle, whether you've got, coronavirus, you've got Brexit, there's always business to be done. But I think you have to have that mindset of, I want to go out and get it. It's not going to just come to you. You really have to work hard. You have to be proactive. So even if the market's tough, like it is, and it has been, like you said, it was quiet up to Brexit, people were still surviving. People were still doing business, but those people were proactive. Look, I think where the market was difficult up to Christmas, certainly with Brexit and now with coronavirus, you have to be proactive. You have to go out there and get the business. Business doesn't come to you and say, I want to use you. They're not going to come to Daniel Ford Estates just because we're on the high street. We have to go out there and get the business and let them know who we are and how we can help them. We're not here to sell. We're not here to say how amazing we are. We're here to offer the services that they need. So it's like, what can I do for you? How can I help you? And then we'll deliver that.
For many, the London property scene is a little bit overwhelming, intimidating. How do you ease your clients' concerns?
In London, it's going to be hard to find a property. We all know that, right? However, if you maybe team up with a friend, a brother, a sister, maybe 2 friends, you can have multiple people on mortgages. So you can borrow more. So if your times just your salary by 3 or 3 people's salary by 3, it is easily attainable to get a mortgage. There is obviously Help to Buy as well. There are lots of options out there. You just have to go out there and look for it. They're not going to come and find you, right? You have to go out and find options, speak to good brokers, speak to your local bank and find out what you can do and how much you can borrow. But there are definitely options out there for people.
What about renting? Because it seems, especially for Nigerians, it's kind of like, you know, they've got to have a property, they've got to buy a property. That's where they see, you know, their investment. But do you think renting is becoming popular again, or why are some people put off by renting?
Europe, everybody rents. So you go across Europe, people predominantly rent, and they rent for years. And that is, again, because of London, such a cosmopolitan city, people are happy to rent. So if people are looking to invest in London, it's a great place to invest as a long term. So if you're looking for good capital appreciation over 10, 15 years, a great place to buy. If you're looking for a good rental income, a great place to invest. So London's a great place to invest if you are looking to buy property for a long-term capital appreciation or for a short-term income.
So what are the plans for Daniel Ford Estates?
So we're launching next week, Thursday the 19th. That's our official launch date. That's when we actually start business. Although we've already been agreeing deals.
The phone's not stopped ringing.
Which is brilliant. I think that's what it's about. But the guys have been proactive. So I think with Daniel Ford Estates, what we're trying to do is create a culture where we go out there and find the business. We go out there and genuinely try to help people. We set the business up to help the local environment, the local businesses. That's a key thing, the local businesses. And the reason why is because people tend to travel out to go to their local restaurant or find their local locksmith or find their local shoe repairer. They're all on our doorstep. Why would you not just walk down the road and find your local shoesmith and get him to fix your shoes? It's just everyone seems to want to go out to do something or go online to do something. Get out, go to the local shops, meet the local business owners, and you'll find a deal. People are willing to give local, good offers to local residents. So get involved with the community. That's what we try to do. We've got a local business directory where businesses can register their businesses and they can offer discounts to local residents.
Okay, so what about the property scene here in King's Cross? Is it competitive? Is there anything unique that Daniel Ford Estates are offering?
Yeah. So we are an eco-friendly estate agent. So we travel on scooters, as you may have seen. We offer eco-friendly, everything's eco-friendly in terms of even the water we have in the office is by Cano water, which is stainless, aluminium, which can be recyclable. Our lighting is all LED lighting. There's no paper, there's no pens. So we are trying to be eco-friendly. We're trying to help the local environment. But in terms of properties, look, it's so diverse. You can buy a 2-bedroom, split level, ex-council flat for around 400, 450,000, or you can buy a penthouse for 5.5 million. So where's the scope is there. So if you're a first-time buyer looking to buy even a 1-bedroom flat or a studio, it's achievable. If you're looking to buy something luxury, which you can get on a train and go to Paris in an hour and a half, you can buy in King's Cross.
Wow. Lastly, as we're wrapping up, Nathan, where are some of the property hotspots at the moment? You mentioned 400,000. For a lot of our viewers, that's still a lot.
Yep.
And for others, that's not merely enough. But for those in Nigeria and for those in London, where would you say a kind of good place to invest right now?
King's Cross has been one of the biggest generations in London. It's a huge place to invest. And where it's got that mix. So it's not like, let's say, for instance, Nine Elms, where it's all purpose-built flats. It's all, you walk down, it just feels the same, it feels a bit soulless. You come to King's Cross and it's so diverse. You've got everything from, the multi-cultures. You've got purpose-built apartments. You've got large Victorian houses, Georgian villas, studio apartments, small coffee shops. I mean, businesses that have been here for over 150 years. It's so diverse and it feels like you're at home. You walk around, it's got that villagey feel to it, but then you walk into King's Cross and you're in Europe within an hour and a half.
Sadly, that's all we have time for today, but do get in touch with your comments and suggestions. I'll see you at the same time next week for more in-depth business analysis on Channel's Business Global. Goodbye.